the thing about what the amino acids is that, yes, they are building blocks of protein. Yes, they help you build muscle, but they do functions in the body. Surprisingly, a lot of people don't realise how good they are for the brain and different conditions. Some pick you up, some sedate you.
Yeah.
So some balance you, but most of all, you need these things. This is not like, screw those essential amino acids, I won't bother with them. You have to think about them. So this is the thing you need to consider first when you come to your meals and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate, is there? There's essential fatty acids.
Yeah.
There's essential proteins, amino acids, but no. So this is something we need to be aware of. And if you're suffering any of those myriad of conditions that we're talking about, those amino acids, they're fairly low toxicity. They're supposed to be in the body. If you're missing one, you're in trouble. Welcome to the ATP Project. You're with your host, Nicole and Steve, and we are picking up on our amino acid podcast. This is part 2. Now, if you've missed part 1, screw you. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Go listen to part 1.
Go listen to part 1.
But even if you haven't, this will still be useful because we're going through the different amino acids and what they do in the body.
And the body.
And the body. Absolutely. See, you thought you knew every anatomy. You didn't know what the body was.
No one knows the body.
But here's the thing. Everyone thinks amino acids, just to recap, is just for your muscles, and amino acids, something with protein. They have specific little things in the body, don't they? These little things. Now, the first one we're picking up on called cysteine. What do we use cysteine for?
Well, cysteine's used to produce glutathione and taurine.
And taurine. It makes taurine.
Yeah. Taurine. Yeah. And glutathione's one of my other favourites, really. The body makes. So.
Well, glutathione is a tripeptide.
Yeah.
So it's got, I'm going to get this wrong probably, glutamine, cysteine, and glycine. Yes. That's it. Sure. Yep. To make glutathione, which is a very potent antioxidant in the body.
Yeah.
And cysteine is one of the key ones to making glutathione, which is detoxing and antioxidant. Yep. So it's extraordinarily important for your health and everything. And you've got here, it's great for promoting building muscles as well.
Yeah. Yeah, really good for building muscles. I look at cysteine for detoxification because of the glutathione factor.
Yeah.
But it can be good for so many other things. Detoxifying all your heavy metals, plastics, all that sort of stuff from the glutathione factor. What else does it do? It helps with the build muscles. Healing burns.
All right.
Yeah, really good for healing
Do you want a bit of semi-useless information?
Yeah, hit me.
If someone's overdosed with paracetamol, it destroys the liver. And if you went to hospital, the first thing they give you is cysteine.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Is that useless or is that kind of important?
No, that's kind of cool.
It's how good it is for the liver.
Oh, well, there you go.
Potent antioxidant because it makes glutathione.
Yeah. No,
so,
it's a really good one. So,
amazing stuff, eh?
Yeah. And you can get that in pork, in chicken, in eggs, in milk.
Yep.
Cottage cheese.
Yuck. Who eats that stuff?
I used to eat a lot of cottage cheese. I loved it. They used to have, I think it was a Weight Watchers brand back in the day, years ago. I don't eat dairy anymore. I haven't eaten dairy for 20, 30 years or something. But previous to that, I would have cottage cheese. I loved it.
What did you have it on?
I think I just ate it out of the tub.
Oh.
That's what, I was like doing a lot of competing and stuff at the time. That was my protein. So, I loved it. It was just a really nice one. I do miss it actually. The other day I was like, I could probably go a bit of cottage cheese.
It's just that flavourless, gunky, sticky.
Oh, no, it's so good. So good.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so if you're vegetarian or vegan, garlic, canola, onions, consume more of that.
Cool.
So 200 to 600 milligrams a couple of times a day, roughly.
Yep. So that's cysteine and N-acetylcysteine. I think that's the one they give in hospitals, actually, the acetylised form.
So NAC, we use NAC, N-acetylcysteine, a lot in clinic, a lot. I use it quite a bit. So, again, it's a precursor to glutathione. It's really, really good for so many different things. It's very good for, obviously, liver detoxification. It's mucolytic as well, so really good when there's had a lot of the viruses that were around a few years ago.
Right.
It was getting people in the lungs. Very good for that. So we're using it in NAC for that. But for anxiety, highly anti-inflammatory.
Very.
Use it a lot for hormonal imbalances as well. So NAC is amazing.
And you correctly got here, it's great for heavy metal overload, arsenic, lead, cadmium, mercury, copper excess.
Really good.
Really important. And that's because it's a sulfur-based amino acid. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you a story from when I was a day in the chemist. If somebody like we were pretty stupid when it came to chemicals. We weren't, we didn't really care.
Not a lot of safety.
No, not. I was 18 and I was in the lab. I got my first year of chemistry at uni, so you knew everything.
Yeah.
You did.
Of course, yeah.
It's like, screw this.
Hey, 18-year-olds know everything, don't they?
Can I tell you something stupid we used to do? We used to put a drop of hydrochloric acid or nitric acid on our skin, and me and my mate in the lab, Kai, his name was, and we used to put a drop on there, and the last one to put it under the tap would win.
Oh, I know.
And do you know which was the quickest thing to get under the tap? Was caustic soda. That was the worst. That's the stuff we tipped down the drains.
Okay.
But that used to burn your skin
But
so
you never
quick.
put it on your skin.
No, don't
and
do
children,
it. Only
listening.
stupid idiots like us did
No
that.
one does that,
We
no.
did it so people at home wouldn't do it. Yeah, I won a few
did you
times.
win?
I
Yeah.
won a few times
Yeah, that
because
means-
you're 18.
Yeah. No, you can't be the first one out.
But when someone spilled mercury, even a little thermometer that has the mercury in it, if you spilled that, everyone would bolt out of the lab.
I'd be out there.
Oh, you'd be out of there. And you come back in with breathing apparatus, and you know what you put on the mercury to clean it up?
Wait, I do remember you saying this another one.
Yeah,
I'm going to say bicarb, but I know it's not.
not bicarb, sulfur.
Oh, sulfur, that's right. Yeah.
And that's because sulfur would bind so strongly with heavy metals.
Yeah.
And N-acetylcysteine is a sulfur-based amino acid which binds to.
Gee, the answer was right in front of me.
Yeah, it really. So we used to put straight sulfur on there.
Yeah.
Which is a yellowish.
Stinky stuff.
Yeah. Well, if it reacted with acid, it would form H2S gas or hydrogen sulfide gas, which was otherwise known as rotten egg gas.
Well, that's some people have gas and it
Yep.
smells like rotten eggs.
It
and
is.
They've got high hydrogen sulfide producing bacteria in their guts.
Can I tell you another stupid thing I used to do in chemistry? We used to get zinc and cut it up in sulfuric acid, and zinc would bubble away and give off hydrogen sulfide gas. And we get an ice cream container, put the sulfuric acid, cut up zinc, put it in there, leave the room.
Like fart gas.
It
Bomb.
would stink, absolutely stink. And you know those? Do you ever watch Shami and all those crazy guys on YouTube where they have those fart bombs?
No.
Oh, I've got to show you later. And
I have a job.
they crack them up. Yeah, no, yeah. I just, and a fart bomb, and they crack them and then throw them at someone. It explodes and gives, it just pops.
wow. Okay.
And then the gas is hydrogen sulfide gas.
Oh, there you go.
And it smells literally like rotten eggs and give me even gag.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I've got to show you that later.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So that's sulfur based. That's sulfur.
Yeah.
And that's, sulfur's found in garlic and eggs and all sorts of things like that. So it's very good.
Really important for detox sulfur.
Now, it's really great for that. But what I found really interesting about these notes is it's great for your mental health as well.
Really good for mental health. Yeah. So, like I said, depression, anxiety can be kind of good for that. Bipolar disorders, showing it can be quite positive for that as well. Traumatic brain injuries.
Oh, yeah.
Well, which are not uncommon. So traumatic brain injury can happen. You could fall off, slip over on the ice or something, or if you're skiing and hit your head, not even hard, and it can still cause an injury. So,
Absolutely. Or you can play football.
well, you can play football, yeah.
Like, AFL football, you used to sling people to the ground. You get thump into the ground.
Well, I mean, a lot of them are, a lot of the older footy players now are having a lot of neurological issues, aren't they? Memory issues and things like that. So, with people with traumatic brain injuries, improve memory. So if they have memory loss, helps to control dizziness. So anything so neurological is very good for that as well. Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease.
Again.
Yeah. So it helps protect the neurons from damage and degeneration in the brain. So,
jeez.
yeah, COPD, so chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, cystic fibrosis.
God, I got a friend's father who's got COPD.
Yeah, I've got a friend's father who's got COPD. Is it the same person, Stu? No.
Think so.
No, yeah, I do too. It's
Yeah,
not an
that's
uncommon
quite
thing.
scary.
Yeah, because it's mucolytic, so it's very good for that. Mucus and that sort of thing. And there is a lot of evidence around it as being chemoprotective as well.
Oh, yeah. So great adjunct therapy if you're on chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Even things like methotrexate is a chemotherapeutic drug.
Yep.
Wow. Protects the liver too. Jeez.
So it's really
Good
good. So,
stuff.
I mean, I usually dose it. It depends what you're dosing it for, but I usually dose it around about between 900 and 1,800 milligrams twice a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good one.
So, yeah.
Another amino acid. Let's chill out for this next amino acid.
Chill out for this one. This is another one of my favourites. I've
it?
got so many favourite amino acids.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I use this one a lot in clinic as well.
This is called GABA or GABA aminobutyric acid. And you can take it neat
Yep.
What the hell do we use that for?
So this is really good for nervous system function, so to chill everything out.
Yep.
So it's one of the calming neurotransmitters. This is excitatory neurotransmitters. This is a calming one. So it's really good for people who have a lot of anxiety, hyperstimulated in that sympathetic nervous system sort of dominance a lot of the time. It just helps to calm everything down. So I use it a lot, actually. I use it a lot for people with anxiety.
Yes.
Can be really good for that. And insomnia can be really good for insomnia.
I hate to ask this question, and you may not want to answer it on camera, but is it easy to get?
Yeah.
It used to be restricted.
Sorry. No, it's not easy to get. In Australia, it's a compounded product.
Oh, I thought
Which means that you can't actually buy it off the shelf in Australia. But no, I can prescribe it. Obviously, we can prescribe it as practitioners. We prescribe a powder. But yes, you're right. It is. It's a listed product. So the TGA. So you can't actually. But you can get online. You can get anything online these days. So, but no,
I'll tell you something off camera later. What you can get online. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to tell you later. It's a little bit of a concern, really.
Oh.
So this is a beautiful calming one and really good. And GABA, so let's say you went to the doctor and they gave you Valium. Valium activates your GABA receptors because it's a benzodiazepine, which is a sedating sleeping tablet. So what this is a natural way to stimulate the GABA receptors because it is GABA.
It is GABA. Yeah. It's actually
funny, that isn't it?
Yeah, and there's no side effects like you can get with some of those benzos.
Well, the benzos have got some terrible side effects, of course, and some of them, of course, they're mildly addictive. You become reliant on them.
Yeah.
And if you take them for too long, you get rebound insomnia.
Yep.
So you can't sleep without them, which is a real problem.
Yeah, I've had clients in the past that have unfortunately become addicted to them through no fault of their own.
No, and they also become resistant to them.
Yeah.
So you need more and more of it and everything.
That's right.
You got to remember, as far as sleeping tablets go, there's a long history of sleeping tablets, and these are the safer of the ones that were bad, like the barbiturates in the olden days. They would, you overdosed on those, you could die.
Yeah.
You just die.
Well, it's a bad side effect, isn't it?
It's just a little bit. But the newer ones are slightly safer. So people have unfortunately overdosed on these. They don't usually die. But still, just not something you want to get mixed up with.
No.
And we know the side effects of, you've seen those stars that are on still knocks. And there's one.
Oh, yeah. That was Australian.
There was an Australian. We can talk about because it was on the news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grant Hackett. Was, and I knew him years and years ago, and his brother, Craig, also. But, he was a great guitarist, Grant, but he got terribly addicted to these, and because you can see the attraction. You can't sleep. You take one of these and you will go to sleep.
Yeah.
There's no ifs or buts about it. I've taken them before. They're incredibly beneficial. And they're tempting to go, I want to go to sleep now. I'll take one of those.
Yeah.
And because they're short acting, but also people were having vivid dreams now, doing things at night. They were already. One of Beck's friends who works at the hospital, I won't mention her name, but got up and ordered a whole lot of food while she was taking still knocks.
Oh, really?
Like sleepwalked.
Oh, wow.
So
what sort of food was it? Good food?
No, it was takeaway food.
Oh, no, that's what I meant.
But, she suffered horrendously with this because she was a shift worker at the hospital.
Oh, see, right. That's difficult, isn't it, right there? And then so many sleep issues with obviously shift workers.
Well, what else do you do? I mean, you come home at 7 a.m. in the morning from your shift and you want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So you have to. But a lot of people take sleeping tablets.
Yeah, and definitely in those instances.
So GABA's this alternative that is actually quite relaxing and really a possible alternative to these things.
Yeah.
It's just something you can look into.
Yeah. There's another really cool little connection with GABA as well. Well, little side benefit that some people can see is improvements in their gut symptoms.
Oh, right.
Because of that gut-brain connection, which we're going to be talking about tomorrow with the vagus nerve.
Vagus nerve.
Yeah, so that those messages travel up and down the vagus nerve to the brain and back down into the gut. So if you're taking the GABA, obviously it's a neurotransmitter, it's calming, it's going to also impact the gut as well. So some people it can have improvements in that gut as well.
GABA.
So that's really
amazing, isn't it?
cool. Yeah.
So GABA's a good one.
Yeah.
We've probably got time to do one more. And this is a cool one because it's the other end of the scale. Glutamine.
Yes.
What do we take glutamine? This is a huge favourite one. So what is it? Tell us quickly about it.
Well, I mean, glutamine, obviously everyone knows a lot. You assume most people know it's very good for the gut. So it's very good for gut healing. It heals the here's the cells of the gut.
Yeah, they're enterocytes. They're the inside of the gut.
Yeah, it must be lunchtime. So it's really good for that. Good for the lungs as well, the brain.
Yeah.
So, and obviously a little bit muscle gain. I mean, that's not what I would ever primarily use it for, but it has a lot of really good benefits in the gym as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I use it for gut a lot. But you've got to be a little bit careful because it can metabolize into glutamate in some people.
Which
and
is
glutamate's excitatory. So some people may not react well to it. So if you're one of those people, you just need to avoid it while you fix underlying issues.
Yeah, glutamate raised to farm with flavour enhancer 621, which is monosodium glutamate.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people get headaches and get kind of antsy and flushed and angry and that sort of thing, and that's that glutamate response.
Which is great in the gym.
Well, that's true, I suppose.
So it's also used for moodiness, irritability, anxiety, insomnia again.
ADHD.
ADHD.
For that as well. So that's really good for that. Depression.
And the dosage of this.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge, isn't it?
You can go very high in this. So, minimum probably 5 grams, so 5 to 15 grams, but you can go quite high. I mean, there's been studies of it a lot higher than that. Yeah. So, and people who are extremely quite ill. So a lot of people are very depleted, had a lot of illness, glutamine's very good for that as well. So
really important amino acid.
Yeah.
And great. It's found in the muscles. So it's a really, you see a lot of bodybuilders taking it.
Yeah.
But it's also very high in whey and collagen protein. So if you're on those, you can look at the glutamine content in those.
Yeah. Yeah. So how would you use it? Would you use that as a pre-workout or a post-workout?
Post.
Sorry?
Yeah, to replete, because you're going to break down muscle tissue during the exercise, especially if you're smashing it at the gym. And you have it afterwards to repair it, helps the gut too. It's just again, it's one of those amino acids that we all love and we should be.
It's a bit of a staple, that one.
It's a staple. You've got here, it's great for nerve pain too. I didn't even know that. That's incredible.
Oh, and also alcohol withdrawal support.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it can be helpful. Actually, I didn't mention that with N-acetylcysteine for addictions.
Yes, great for addictions too.
Really good for addictions, yeah. For smoking cessation, stopping smoking.
Cessation of smoking. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, cessation. It's like sashi. I'm not going there again.
You can tell that it's getting close to lunch, isn't it?
It's getting close to lunch. But but that very good for that. But glutamine as well can be great for alcohol withdrawal support. So, yeah, that's a really good one.
We're going to talk about an amino acid called glycine, the smallest, simplest amino acid.
Yeah.
What's so good about glycine?
Glycine. So glycine is one of my faves.
Yeah.
You said in the last podcast, it's one of my favourites.
Yep.
So I use it a lot for nervous system, central nervous system health. So nice calming amino acid. It's really good for anti-aging and longevity too, Steve.
Why are you looking at me like that?
No reason.
No. It's great. It really is good. What else is it good for?
Bone and joint health.
Need that too. Yep. What else?
Insulin sensitivity.
I'm pretty good with that, but I probably need that.
Yeah. Cardiovascular health.
Yep.
Sleep.
Yep.
Liver health.
And
detoxification, as I said in the first.
That's right. I forgot all about that one,
Yeah.
that pathway. But that's great. So here's the thing. Glycine, people take glycine on their own. You prescribe it on your own, but it's often found with things like magnesium.
Yeah.
And magnesium is kind of relaxing. We're not doing podcast on magnesium. No. But when you add magnesium and glycine together, you get that double whammy effect.
Yeah. Magnesium glycinate's great. As I said, it's one of my favourites. I use it at night a lot. Give it to clients at night. And I will also prescribe glycine on its own.
Yep.
For other purposes. So as I said, nervous system function. So for calming that nervous system down, for sleep, even for a bit of blood sugar balancing. So it has that insulin connection as well. So it can be really good for that. And detoxification.
Great.
Yeah.
But what about athletes? Screw these peasants. Can that be useful for athletes?
It's all about the athletes, right? It controls blood sugar, which can impact ATP production. So we want to make sure we've got good blood sugar.
Good.
Optimizes energy levels.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really good for when you're training.
Yep.
So it's really good for that.
And it's really good. It's synergy with creatine. So it really helps that because it helps deliver sort of creatine to the muscles. And glycine's pretty cheap.
It's very cheap.
Yeah, it's one of those amino acids that are pretty cheap. There was a product that many, many years ago that was a protein powder and it was out in the market and it was just fortified with glycine.
Oh, really?
So it tasted really good.
Because it's got a sweet taste, glycine. So it tastes quite nice. Yeah.
It's good.
So, no, it's really good. It can help to reduce muscle breakdown.
Yep.
Can use it as an antacid.
Wow.
Yeah. So it can be really good for that. So that's at an acidic stomach. So it can be helpful there.
Anything that for me as a man and...
Oh, perhaps your prostate, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Can be really
It's good for your prostate.
Because the prostate has a high amount of glycine.
Yeah.
So helps promote prostate health.
Yep.
Central nervous system function, as I said, that's what I use it for a lot.
Really good for seizures and bipolar, isn't it?
Yeah, really good for that sort of thing. So hyperactivity, all that sort of thing's really good. And sleep.
Yeah.
So that's why I usually prescribe magnesium glycinate in the evenings for people to help with sleep, and added glycine on top of that if they really are struggling can be helpful for that as well. But I love it. I use it a lot and I get good results with it. So
it's great, and often combined with magnesium, and you'll see it in products that are told to be taken at night.
Yeah.
You find them in there. So that's a really good one, isn't it?
It's really good. As I said, it's one of my top ones in the amino acids.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you an amino acid now that's underrated, I think.
This is one of my other super favourite ones. And it's probably, I reckon this one would have to just about be my top favourite.
Right.
For a few different reasons.
Well, don't put us in suspender belts. What?
Said suspender belts. That's my saying, Steve. I say that. So put me in suspender belts. No, suspenders, I just say.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you added the belt.
I added the belt just to be original.
That's right.
Rip off your ideas.
I know, that's right.
So what is this amino acid?
Inositol.
Oh, yeah.
I love inositol. I love it. I use it quite a bit. So very good for blood sugar regulation.
Yeah.
Again, really, really good for that. Used a lot in PCOS. To help that insulin
lots of studies.
Sensitivity, yeah. So really good for that. It's anxiolytic. So when you can dose it quite high.
So what's anxiolytic mean?
So anxiolytic basically means it's anti-anxiety. So it helps to calm you down if you're feeling quite anxious.
Yep.
Calms the nervous system down. So it's really good for that. Insulin resistant, as I said, PCOS, as I said. Panic disorders can be really good for panic disorders as well. Obsessive compulsive disorder as well.
Yep.
And then the PCOS, as I said.
Yep.
And the other one, thyroid.
Thyroid, yeah, of course.
Yeah, really good for thyroid. So any type of damage to the thyroid, to the actual gland, inositol can help to repair the structure of the thyroid. So really good post-viral syndrome, which post-viral thyroid toxic thyroid syndrome.
Toxic thyroid syndrome, yep.
So post-viral infections that we've seen over the past few years.
Jeez.
There's a lot coming out now, and I'm seeing it in clinic. Thyroid issues because of post-viral issues. I'm trying to.
I know what you're trying not to say. Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, really common. A lot of thyroid issues after the last few years, and the inositol is very good at helping to restore the gland structure. So repair the gland.
Look, it's great for sensitizing insulin. So you can use it for if you want to cut and lose body fat.
Yeah, great for fat loss,
great
cholesterol
fat loss.
Control, that sort of thing. So, and as I said, you dose it different doses for different things. So if you're looking at something for, say, thyroid to help with, support the thyroid gland, around about 1 to 2 grams a day. And then if you're having mood issues or anxiety, can go up to 16 grams a day.
It's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, you can have a lot.
I love it because, if you overdose on some medications, you can die pretty quick. But this stuff is real because we've been consuming this for millions of years.
Yeah.
So it's not like a weird new what we call molecule from Mars, which is a molecule that's been invented. This is the human body knows what to do with this.
Yeah, no. So inositol is one of my top ones. I do use it a lot. So.
And taking it before breakfast for PCOS is very important. About 2 grams. Wow.
Yeah. So
And PCOS, everyone's got PCOS.
a lot of women have PCOS, yeah. So
I
PCOS,
haven't, but yeah,
no, you don't. I know. But
that's one thing I don't.
And a lot of people are stressed, and a lot of thyroid issues now.
Yeah.
A lot. And as I said, after the last couple of years, there's a lot more emerging now, damage to the thyroid from particular viruses. So, very good for helping restore the structure of the gland.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get off this woman stuff. Let's talk about muscle building, okay? I know women want to build muscle too.
And girl stuff. Girls love building muscles as well.
Isoleucine, we'll get on to leucine later, but isoleucine,
so it's one of the branched-chain amino acids, isoleucine.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
So what's its primary function?
Increases endurance.
Yep.
Helps heal muscle tissue.
Yep.
It's an anti-catabolic.
Which means breaking down muscle.
Muscle breakdown, that sort of thing. So it helps with boosting energy, recovering from activity, that sort of thing. So, it's involved in protein muscle synthesis.
Yep.
Not as much as leucine.
No.
A little bit more than valine.
Yep.
We'll talk about leucine. Yeah, so increases glucose uptake and usage during exercise as well. So that's really good for that. So it's another really good one.
It's a really good one. And while we're talking about it, you need about 4 grams a day, 3 to 5. So that's good.
Also involved in hemoglobin synthesis.
Yes.
So red blood cells.
Yeah, red blood cells.
Yeah.
So, because this is an essential amino acid.
Yes.
So if you're deficient in this, you could have like an anemia and people are pumping full of iron and all this other crap, which won't do a thing if your isoleucine levels are low.
No, that's right.
Amazing.
That's exactly right.
So we've talked about isoleucine. What about leucine?
So, we all know leucine. It's one of the best, one of the favourites, isn't it?
Geez, we love it.
Yeah.
It's you see it everywhere and you see the active metabolite of it, the HMB and all this sort of stuff. We'll get to that. But leucine, this is like, and when people have the 2,1,1 branched-chain amino acids, it's 2-leucine.
Yeah. So it's a primary BCA.
They love leucine. It was discovered in 1819.
Yes, from cheese.
There you go.
There you go.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So let's have a look. What does it do? What does it do in the body?
So it activates mTOR.
Okay, that's mammalian.
Raptomycin.
I
beat you to it, Steve.
Yeah, go for it. You say it.
It's mammalian target of raptomycin.
Complex 1, yep. Because there's complex 2 as well, but this is the one, absolutely.
Yeah, so that we all know about that pathway. Helps to promote muscle growth.
Yep.
So that's a really good one for that.
Really good one, but you don't want too much mTOR.
No.
Because it can lead to acne and a few other things and also cancer.
Growth, so it's a growth pathway, as we talked about in the past. You want to have a little bit of growth and then a little bit of repair. So a bit of mTOR, a bit of AMP-K, sort of bit of a seesaw there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It stimulates release of insulin from the pancreas.
Now that's
stimulates
important.
Glucose uptake, right, for energy. Yeah.
Now, stimulating insulin release, everyone thinks, that's bad. But insulin actually is an anabolic hormone.
Yeah.
So this is a real anabolic amino acid.
Well, that's why having something high carbohydrate post-workout is actually very good for you. Like, you don't need to avoid that sort of thing. And insulin, like everything else in the body, has its beneficial roles. So it's just when body becomes resistant to it that it becomes a problem.
I mean, leucine, what a cool amino acid. Again, it's essential. Yep. So, and it's found in animal products. So for vegetarians, you want to be a bit careful about being too low in this stuff, eh?
Yeah. When we did the protein podcast that's come out recently, we talked about leucine and how vegetarians or vegans, plant-based eaters can get around that as much as they can.
Wow.
Yeah, so leucine's really good. Yeah.
Really important. Okay, so let's say I've got herpes. Are there any?
Oh, wow. So hang on a minute. We're still doing the podcast, so we're shouting now.
Oh, shit. I thought the cameras were off. Oh, dear. Well, we have to talk about herpes.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think probably 60% of the population has herpes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know they've had it because a lot of people have never had symptoms, and that's why it's so prevalent, because they don't know they have it, so they're passing it on.
Yeah.
So it's really, really common. So our next amino acid, I think people probably know where we're hedging here.
Well, some people might.
Well, some people might not. No, lysine.
Lysine.
Yeah. Really good for helping to suppress that herpes replication. So, but it actually has some other really cool benefits as well.
I'll tell you what, we'd know if we had herpes because we just had so much arginine out there before. We had some nuts and they're super high in arginine.
Yeah.
And other amino acids, but arginine in particular. So leucine sort of counteracts that.
Yeah. See, so does lysine.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. I actually take lysine every day.
Do you?
But not for herpes. I take it for, I'll tell you why I take
do we have
it.
to edit that? Why do you take it?
It's very good for bones.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, really good for bones.
Wow.
So helping with absorption of calcium.
Yeah?
So obviously as we get older, as women, estrogen goes down,
Yep.
we lose that bone protective effects of estrogen. So lysine can be really good for that. So it's very good for bone health. And it's also good for cardiovascular health. It's
okay.
hard to say.
Yep.
Because it takes build-up of calcium from the arteries and takes it out.
Of course.
And it's very good for reducing lipoprotein A plaques.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now there's a couple of things to unpack there. Lipoprotein A is a really bad LDL cholesterol.
Yeah.
Very bad one. It's one of the real bad ones. LDL cholesterol could be good or bad. It could be big, fluffy LDL or
Large particle, or it could be small particle.
Exactly. And the small particles are the worst. And you also mentioned calcium in the arteries. If you wanted to get a test done, I did a test about 10 years ago now of a calcium score of my arteries. When my mother had a heart attack, survived. My dad's had a heart attack. Both had stents and all that. Three of my four grandparents died of heart attacks. So it was like, well, it runs in the family. But if it turns out it doesn't, because my arteries are super clean.
Yeah.
It's what do they say? Heart disease doesn't run in the family. No one runs in your family. You know, so I run. So very good for your heart. But that's interesting, isn't it? How it takes calcium and regulates it. Like silica in the old days, we were told silica regulates calcium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So lysine very good for anyone with bone issues, postmenopausal women, very good for that as well. So so not just for viruses, and also good for generally for viruses, antiviral. So not always the herpes virus, but any of those type of viruses.
Any of the viruses,
the ones that have been around in the last couple of years can be good for that as well. So yeah, I do like lysine for that reason, for the calcium.
That's good, isn't it? That's a really good one to take long term.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I've taken it. Well, I took it ever since I had a virus that was around a few. We can't say the word. We all know it. The last couple of years, there's been a big virus around the world, and I got it along with a lot of other people. Yes, so I started taking lysine from when I was recovering from that.
Right.
So and now I take it for the bone health. So I just take a little bit every day.
Why
I
not?
take about 1 gram a day.
Yep.
Yeah, don't need a lot.
And again, it's a great amino acid, so you don't have to worry about it being toxic or anything. It's already in your body.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's a really good one. So I do like that one.
Now we're up to another essential one.
Yeah.
Methionine.
Methionine.
This is an interesting one. It's got good. Not so bad because it's essential.
Yeah.
But it's a really weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, what would you use methionine for in practice?
See, I don't ever use it.
Yeah, okay. There you go. That's how often you use it.
That's how often I use it.
Yeah.
So it's a precursor for SAMe, so S-adenosylmethanol.
S-adenosylmethionine.
SAMe, this is a pretty simple for SAMe, cysteine, glutathione, taurine, and sulfate.
Yep.
Sorry, banged.
It's a great sulfur-based amino acid.
Yeah.
In the olden days, we used to drink a liquid, and when I was doing naturopathy college, and it was a liver detoxifying thing. It had choline and methionine in it with other stuff. Can't remember, some B vitamins, and we'd drink it, and oh my God, you'd get the shit.
Well, I mean, yes, because methionine is one of the amino acids that's needed in phase 2 liver detox.
Yeah.
Liver detox. So methionine, as we said before, cysteine, and then your B vitamins as well. So this is very important for phase 2 detoxification.
Wow, so it's a real detoxer, isn't it?
Yeah, really a real detoxer. So, yeah, you want to just be a little bit cautious of it because it can increase homocysteine levels.
Yeah, it's a precursor. And this is where the caution comes in now. Homocysteine's an amino acid that is made from methionine. And so if your B vitamins are crappy, the active Bs, then it can go into goes into homocysteine, and that can lead to cardiovascular disease, neurological disorders, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So methione's got that double-edged sword, but it's essential. So we can't say I'm going to avoid methionine because you'll die.
No, definitely don't avoid it. Just you don't want to do it. And that's generally why I won't use it. I don't dose it as a single amino acid.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be really good for heavy metal toxicity. So anything sort of detox-wise, it's very good for that sort of thing. So yeah, methione's quite good.
And if you're on medications, check with your GP if you're going to prescribe this, because there are some drugs like levodopa, which inhibits the absorption of.
That's right.
So you'll be a bit careful. Levodopa is a funny one if you're on that drug for Parkinson's usually. Levodopa is also found in beans naturally. You remember that movie Awakenings?
Yes.
Robin Williams.
That's right, yeah. That's an
That
old
was
movie,
that
isn't
was
it?
about levodopa.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I vaguely remember. It was a long
Do you?
time ago. I reckon I would have been young then, Steve.
I wasn't that young.
20s, maybe? I was going to say
It was a
teens,
great
so
movie. It was a great movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
It wasn't a comedy.
No.
And it had Robin Williams in it.
Yeah, he did a couple of darkish type movies, didn't
Well,
he?
this was a darkish type movie because I won't say how it ends because people might want to watch it, but leave it at, well, can I say how it ends? No, probably shouldn't.
No,
No.
maybe don't.
But it's got a very interesting ending and a very interesting storyline. It's all about levodopa. Levodopa was discovered in 1969, the year I was born.
There you go.
It's first talked about. Yeah, great year. In the summer of 69.
Oh, it's breaking
I won't
into-
sing till
breaking
the
into
next
song again.
the next podcast. I'm going to sing in. I'll tell you that for sure.
no. Okay,
Don't
so-
worry. There's a strong link there. All right. So we've got methionine there.
I will say that if you are taking methionine for any other reason, you're worried about the homocysteine, you can kind of counter that a little bit by taking B12s, folates, taurine as well. So that sort of helps with that methyl donors. So yeah.
All right.
Moving on to the next one.
LMNO.
Oh,
Ornithine.
ornithine. Yeah.
Now we're talking things for my big rippling muscles. What does ornithine do?
So it's involved in the urea cycle.
The urea cycle.
Urea cycle, along with arginine and citrulline.
Yeah.
So they help to reduce elevated ammonia levels in the body.
Ammonia is a toxic byproduct, and you can see it in your skin. A lot of people, if they eat extraordinary amounts of protein, like the Ronnie Coleman's of the world, we would get this odor about them because they just got so much urea in there, and the uric acid's super high. Yeah. Uric acid also leads, if it settles in your joints, to gout.
Yes.
So you may have heard of it. You may have heard of the drug Xylopram, which stops that cycle and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, uric acid cycle, very important in your body. You need it.
And urea. So interestingly, you probably could use ornithine. Urea, if you've got high urea on your bloods, that can obviously indicate high protein intake and also indicate some sort of bacterial infections such as H. pylori.
Mine's always pretty high.
Well, yours is probably protein, Steve. Mine's always high.
See how many nuts I just ate?
I know. You did a lot of
I can
nuts.
feel it in my guts. I was, protein.
Yeah. But yeah, high urea can indicate H. pylori or some other sort of urea-loving bacteria. So,
Right.
So that's always something to look at.
Well, let's get on the fun stuff. That's something with growth hormone.
See,
Come
I love all
on.
that sort of
Growth
stuff.
hormone. Let's get
growth
muscle.
hormones. All right. So yes, it does stimulate growth hormone when you pair it with arginine. Mm-hmm. So it has anti-fatiguing effects.
Yep.
probably should have some because I'm fatigued. Anti-fatigue.
Anti-fatigue? Is that what you're trying to say?
Okay. If anyone watched last week's one, they'll know that we're actually recording on the same day because we're still not right there, are we?
Yeah, because
I'm not right there.
They can tell by your arms have still been attacked by a
They've still
dog.
been attacked by the dog, I know, and I'm hiding them.
Yeah.
I didn't get attacked by a dog if you didn't listen to last week's, no.
You got viciously attacked.
My 9-week-old puppy. Yeah, he's teething, that's all.
Oh, right.
It's
It's a German Shepherd. They're aggressive
They're
killer
not
dogs.
aggressive. If anyone has a German
Vicious.
Shepherd, they know they're the biggest
You see
babies
one and
ever.
they come up to your jugular vein and rip it apart.
They don't. They're babies. But anyway, yes, anti-fatigue effects, mate, Steve.
Okay.
And increases efficiency of energy consumption.
Great. So it's good for energy. So
Great for energy.
when you're really
I really reckon we
tired.
should go get some right now.
Yeah, if you're tired from staying up with the dog all night.
The dog all night, yeah. So I don't have kids, and now I know why. Because
You've kind of got one now, haven't you?
I've got one now. It is literally, I'm sorry for all the mothers out there that have children. It's probably nothing like having a baby, but to me, I'm up every
Having
2
a
hours.
dog would be much harder, wouldn't it?
I feel like no, I'm sure it's nowhere near as
10
hard.
emails.
But I'm not a parent, so I'm
not a
used to
parent.
this
That's why I
up every
said such
2
a
hours
stupid
thing.
comment.
So yeah, it's good for parasite cleaning. So obviously, with like H. pylori and things like that. I'm not saying that it can eliminate H. pylori, but it can be probably effective in the treatment of with other things as well. Great for wound healing as well.
Yeah, you need that.
Yep. So for dosing, 3 to 6 grams for athletes. Parasites, 1 to 3 grams at night because that's when parasites are most active.
They come out. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Don't want to go too high because it can cause a bit of digestive distress if you have too much of it. So, yeah. So
I mean, it's incredible. What an amazing, it's such an underrated amino acid.
yeah, I mean, you don't really see it around much. You don't really hear about it much.
But everyone's got parasites and everyone wants more muscles.
Well, yeah, probably not everyone's got parasites, but maybe some people have parasites.
Something, yeah.
And a lot of, well, look, H. pylori, though it's not a parasite as such, it's a bacterial infection. It's very common.
It's very, very heavily associated with gastric ulcers.
Yes.
And they treat it with triple antibiotic or double antibiotic plus an antacid, which there's better ways. But anyway, it's not a podcast for that.
Also, thyroid conditions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, correlated with thyroid conditions, much more higher prevalence of thyroid issues in people who have H. pylori.
Huh. There you go.
Because it obviously shuts down that acid production, which then causes malabsorption, which then causes nutrient deficiencies, which then causes inflament, which then can affect the thyroid.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
God, we've got you here not just for your looks, eh?
Well, hopefully that's not, because I'm relying on that, we're in trouble.
Oh, don't say that. Did someone say that you look like Snow White?
Oh, yeah, someone did say I look like Snow White, but they were also about 12 years old.
But isn't that cute?
Let's put that into context.
Isn't that
and I was
cute?
about 100 metres away as
No,
well.
you walked within a few metres. No, that's good, Snow White.
Yeah, so now when you bring my apple every day, it means it's got a different connotation now.
It's
I'm
funny.
just waiting to bite into it and be knocked out. Actually, let's know.
What are you saying about me? What are you saying? My wife listens to this podcast.
That's not what I meant.
Holy
my
mackerel.
goodness. When you're tired, you forget what you're saying until you've said it.
Why are you
and
tired? Because you've had some rohypnol in your apple?
Because I have a puppy.
Oh, okay. It's not the apple.
It's not the apple. But Steve does bring me an apple every day.
I do. I have for yonks, even before you were called Snow White.
That's right.
Let's say the record here. My wife listens to this thing.
Steve's the generous person he always brings treats for everybody.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, I used to bring all the girls like brownies and all that. And then you'd walk in with tuna and crackers for me because they wouldn't eat the chocolate.
Oh, just macadamias now for you.
Now just macadamias, yeah.
And Matt and I eat the nuts and you just eat the macadamias out of it.
It's
quite hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's funny.
Back off track again.
All right. Now, this one's a bit hard to pronounce. Phenylalanine.
Phenylalanine. Yep.
Yep. Now, what the hell's that, and what does it do, and what is it good for, and where does it primarily act?
So it's a precursor for tyrosine.
Ah, yes.
Which is needed for, as we said in the first one, T4, so thyroxine, which is a thyroid hormone. So it can be good for appetite suppressant.
Yes.
Suppressing.
Yes.
So it's a precursor for noradrenaline.
All right.
This one I am a little bit wary of because of that reason, because it can increase those stress hormones.
Yes, it can.
Some people who are more inclined to be a bit more anxious or a bit more highly stressed, higher cortisol, this one, just be a little bit more careful about it. And interesting because it's a precursor for tyrosine, and people that have thyroid issues, they go, I need the tyrosine.
Yeah.
So they a lot of times anxious, and so this makes them a lot worse. So I don't use it all that often.
We used to give the D form for pain, but that was years ago. It's funny, phenylalanine, if you read on the side of a Diet Coke can, it'll say not suitable for fetal oninuria, which is a condition where you can't metabolize phenylalanine. So if you had a tablet of this, you'd be dead.
Yes.
If you had that, but you haven't got that because you'd be knowing about it, because this is an essential amino acid.
Dead, so you wouldn't know.
I mean, we're picking on this. We're picking on this guy, but he's essential. He's needed in the body.
Essential. Very good for skin conditions.
Yeah,
it's a precursor for melanin as well via tyrosine.
The brown stuff on your skin.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about me and the brown. I'm brown.
Oh yeah.
So good for Matt's just like one of my he hates his life right now.
He hates his life
got to edit all this.
Oh my God,
he's got to edit us.
But here's the funny thing. Last night, I recorded 60 Minutes because they had a story on Ozempic.
I was going to talk to you guys about that. Sorry, we're still recording.
Yes,
it was very interesting. Yeah, I listened to that too.
Now, Ozempic is an appetite suppressant, and it's given to people with diabetes to stop them eating so much, that sort of thing. And it increases cholecystokinin. And guess what else increases cholecystokinin?
Phenylalanine.
Exactly. Exactly. So maybe if you're thinking about getting that needle, which has horrendous side effects.
Yeah, horrendous.
We did a podcast on it about a year ago, so have a listen.
Yeah.
And they mention in the show that it increases pancreatic inflammation and cancer. And pancreatic survival of cancer is about 5% after 5 years, and thyroid cancers. But apart from cancer, it's pretty safe. So.
apart from that.
Scary.
Yeah, a bit scary. So, this is probably a better option.
Probably a better option.
But look, it can raise your blood pressure, and because it has that effect on the catecholamines.
Yep.
So you just want to be a little bit cautious about it.
And one other caution, if you're on an antidepressant and what they call is MAOs, monoamine oxidase inhibitors, just don't take this. It's one that's problematic. So, and again, has side effects with levodopa, so does everything.
Yes.
And also you mentioned here certain cancers like melanomas, because melanin, it's interesting. You've got to be careful with it. Again, this won't cause melanomas.
No, if you have the propensity, it fuels it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like sugar doesn't cause cancer. It just gives you the environment for cancer.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. And it can then cause insomnia if you take it too close to bedtime. So I take it in the morning.
It has quite a stimulating effect. So anyone that's a little bit sensitive to sort of stimulating type things, then probably don't be doing anything with this one.
No.
But metabolic rate, digestive system, and sort of the primary sort of uses for phenylalanine.
Good one.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I don't mind it. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Now, here's one of my favourite ones.
Yeah, this one's a good one.
Proline. They're in the peas.
We talk about proline a little bit in relation to collagen.
Collagen, proline. Okay, tell us the link there. What's going on there with proline and wrinkles and that sort of thing?
So it's needed for the production of collagen.
Yep.
And cartilage, healthy joints, ligaments, skin, that sort of thing. So
can I take you back to 1770 for a sec?
1770. That's when Captain Cook discovered Australia.
Oh, there you go. You remember that.
I learnt something in school.
And he had a lot of disease on his ship, of course, and one of them was scurvy. And scurvy is a lack of vitamin C. And vitamin C is needed to convert proline to hydroxyproline to make collagen. Yeah. So because there was no vitamin C, no one was eating fresh anything, so in the middle of the ocean, eating fish and biscuits or whatever they used to eat on ship. They had dried biscuits because they'd keep. And they developed like bleeding gums and everything because the vitamin C wouldn't make collagen. So when you chewed, it destroyed your gums because you couldn't repair them. So they had bleeding gums and developed scurvy. And they found that lime juice used to cure it.
Yeah.
So that's where the name people on ships are called limeys. If you wonder where the name comes from, probably not. So what we care about is L-proline makes, helps with fine lines. Yeah. Better still, hydroxyproline.
Yeah.
So that's not in here, but that's a really good one. But what about cardiovascular health? This stuff's good for that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it stops
definitely.
the crap building up in your arteries.
Yep. It inhibits the binding of lipoprotein.
And lipoprotein's cholesterol.
Yep. Prevents cholesterol buildup. So, as we said, with their lysine, helps with that plaque prevention in the arteries.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really good for
Love that one.
Yeah, really good.
And for you need a lot of it at the moment. Why?
Because I'm old, Steve? What are you trying to say?
Because you have your injuries.
Right.
Jeez.
I thought you meant for the skin.
Talk about getting
what did we say? I know I have wrinkles, Steve, but you don't have to make it known.
No, I'm pointing at your arms.
No, for my arms, yeah.
You need to heal those things.
I do. Well, I've got a day and a half away from the puppy, so that hopefully will be enough time before he rips into my arms again when I get home.
Vicious dog, something.
So vicious. If you saw him, you wouldn't say that.
No, I've seen videos. He's gorgeous.
He's very cute.
He needs more collagen for his ears to stand up.
No, his ear's coming up. It's popping up. It'll be.
But then the other one flops over and.
Well, they see. We see they go up and down. They go up and down. Everyone has a German Shepherd nose, and they don't pop out with.
When do they
ears.
become like Doberman ears, like the proper?
Well, anywhere up to 6-9 months of age.
Oh, okay.
I've had a puppy that they were up at 12 weeks and that was it, and they stayed up. And this one is 9 weeks and they're coming up. So when we first picked him up, one was super floppy. Now it's only half floppy, and the other one's up floppy. Anyway, it's not about dog's ears.
I think it is. It's gorgeous.
It is. Anyway, so wound healing, yes, you are right. Very, very, very good for that, obviously. So it helps with the
and it'll help with your wrinkles too, of course.
Help with my wrinkles, thanks, Steve.
Geez,
thanks
terrible.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, now here's one of your favourites.
He's one of my other favourites.
Taurine. Tell us just.
I use taurine a lot in clinic as well. It's anti-inflammatory. It's very good for cardiovascular health. It's an antioxidant, very good for detoxification, for liver. And even nervous system as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
So, really, really good one. Bile, so that's sulfur, so that bile production and bile flow. So really good for that. People that have issues with gallbladder insufficiency or bile insufficiency.
Wow.
Yeah, so really good for that.
Yeah.
As I said, for nervous system function, high blood pressure, really good for that.
And so what if we've got something like high homocysteine then?
Yes, It's very good for reducing high homocysteine levels as well. So if your homocysteine levels are high, obviously along with your B vitamins, folate, B12s, B6, B2.
Is it any good for preventing diseases like diabetes?
Yes, it is. It is very good for that, actually, Steve.
There you go.
Yes, it protects type diabetes and helps to prevent the onset of type 2 diabetes. Obviously, there's lifestyle and dietary factors involved there. You can't just take taurine and expect it to prevent that if you're having a poor lifestyle. But
damn, I thought that was the magic bullet.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's always people are after that shit, eh?
I know. If we could find the magic bullet, we'd be billionaires 10 times over, wouldn't we?
All right, now, what's its relationship with GABA aminobutyric acid?
Yeah, so it has very similar effects as GABA does. So it helps with that calming sort of effect in the brain. It's antidepressant and it has good sedating qualities as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how much
really
generally should I take?
So depending what you're taking it for,
anxiety.
I'd say roughly about 5 grams. Yeah. 5 gram dose for anxiety, also for blood pressure as well. A lot of times you will see it paired with, I guess with practitioner products and even other really good products that have magnesium in them. Magnesium, it's paired with magnesium a lot because obviously magnesium has very good effects on the cardiovascular system. So if you can a lot of times have taurine in there as well. So good little complexes.
A magnesium formula I did 1 billion years ago had magnesium and taurine in it with a few other things.
Yeah, and I was using that product for a long time. So it's a very good product.
We won't mention the name.
We won't mention the name.
No, but, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's really good. As I said, I use it a lot, and I have it in a lot of products that I use as well. So very good, great for high blood pressure, which a lot of people have.
Oh, heaps of people have it.
A lot of stress.
Yeah. And it's called the silent killer because you don't know you've got it.
No.
And you might be getting diffuse headaches or something, but get your bloody blood pressure checked.
Yeah.
Really, this is nothing to do with amino acids, but this is a simple test you can do. It's non-invasive, takes 5 seconds. Every pharmacy's probably got a blood pressure machine.
But you can buy them for cheap, $50 something.
I've got one for $50.
Yeah, I've got one at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to use the old one for the pump up mercury.
Oh, yeah. We had to learn on those ones in college, but no, I use the automatic ones.
I like those ones.
Do you? Yeah, no.
I never use them because I don't even know if they exist anymore.
I probably don't. Oh, I don't know, maybe.
The automatic ones. Beck in the hospital, she just does the automatic ones, just press the button and pumps it.
And they're cheap. You can have, like I said, I had one when I had a physical clinic. I don't have face-to-face anymore, but I had one for then. So, if you're having blood pressure issues, it's a good idea to have one because you can monitor your blood pressure and see if things like these are working. If you're taking some taurine. Yeah.
And magnesium is my favourite.
Magnesium, really good, helping to lower blood cholesterol. Blood pressure.
I was going to say, we talking about cholesterol.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so taurine's a really good one of my faves.
L-theanine, Nick. This is one of my favourites because it helps you sleep. Now, you've had trouble sleeping lately, haven't you? Just off camera, you've been saying you've been, getting up every 2 hours.
Yeah.
And your mind's been active because you've got a little puppy.
I got a little puppy, so we're toilet training him. So,
That's funny.
so we're into part 3 of this and people don't know because I had to keep stopping because I'm deliriously tired.
Just tell them
magic of television,
perfect.
Magic of audio, it's audio. Yeah.
One big take it's been. There's been no editing at all.
I know. So, I'm a little bit sleep deprived is why that's probably gone a bit sideways. But that's
all right. Let's say you're seeing a client with sleep and they can't get their mind off. They've got mind's too active. What do you give them?
This is what I need, Steve. I need some L-theanine. So L-theanine's great. I actually love L-theanine because it's very good for stress, anxiety, mood, that sort of thing. So it calms you down, but you stay alert. So things like GABA we were talking about earlier, they're very calming for the nervous system, but they sort of they're not sedative, but they chill you out, that sort of thing, help you relax and obviously sleep at night. L-theanine's quite different. It calms the nervous system, but it doesn't make you feel like drowsy. So that's why I really like it. So, a lot of people would know L-theanine is found in green tea.
Yep.
And this is where it's a good example of you drink coffee, some people, and they might get the jitters or they might get a little bit racing heart or they feel quite adrenalized. So L-theanine has caffeine in it.
Yeah.
Sorry, green tea has caffeine in it. But caffeine? It's a caffeine.
Caffeine. Oh, you've made up a new chemical now.
And so this is what happens. This is sleep deprivation.
It's funny. I love it. I love this, mate. This is so entertaining for me.
So L-theanine. So green tea has caffeine in it, but you don't get those jitters.
No.
You don't get that feeling quite stimulated because the L-theanine calms it down. It helps reduce cortisol. So it's really good for that stress. But if, throughout the day, if you're feeling quite stressed, but you still have to be functional, this is what this is.
So
really
say you're really stressed and you have to drive 4 hours home. This would be a good one for you, and it wouldn't put you to sleep.
And help you get through podcasts. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It'd be amazing.
No, it's a really good one. I love it because it does just settle the mind, but it's not sedating. Like, as I said, I give you the Valium, you'll be sedated and sleepy and terribly. This just calms the mind.
Yeah. No, it's really good. So it's perfect for that. So you generally can't get it in the diet.
No, it's a tricky one to get, isn't it?
You can get it in, good products. Some good products have it, products that are nice and relaxing.
Yep. No, it's a good one.
Yep.
So I love that one. Now, speaking of relaxing, while we're on these and we're on the teas, tryptophan.
Yeah.
Now, I loved when you get your primary usage there for fat loss. I mean, tryptophan for fat loss, because we have a lot of people who are, say, want to lose a few kilos or whatever. I mean, this is really interesting. And, of course, it's good for the mood.
Yeah.
It's precursor for serotonin. But what do you use it for?
So I use it for mood a lot of times. And even with the fat loss, I guess there's the connection as being a precursor for the 5-HTP.
Yep.
Which is, precursor for serotonin. So serotonin helps with relaxing the nervous system and sleep. And if you have lower stress and you sleep well, you can always lose fat easier as well.
And when you lack of sleep, your appetite increases.
Yes.
Now, I don't know about you, but is your appetite higher today because you didn't sleep well last night?
It is a little bit higher, yes. I usually eat my breakfast about 11 or 12 midday, and I was hungry by 9. But I was up at 4, it's quarter to 3:30. I don't know.
Quarter to 3:30.
It was dark outside.
I
can't remember. It was a long day. But yes, it was a little bit high, my appetite generally. Yeah, so that's where you want to be more careful with your blood sugars because the high stress. But yes, mood disorders, PMT.
Yep.
It's not what I've got. That's what this is tryptophan
can
be good for.
I thought you were talking about yourself. You said
mood. Amino acids, Steve, not about me anymore. You
just said mood disorders and PMT. I just thought you were referring to yourself.
Yes. No, tryptophan can be good for mood disorders, premenstrual tension, things like that, and then sleep issues, as we said. Skin issues, Steve.
Yeah.
It's a precursor to B3.
Yep, niacinamide.
So good for dermatitis, things like that. So it can be really good for that sort of thing as well.
I know.
And then the weight loss side of things, it can help to decrease carbohydrate cravings.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to remember with carbohydrate. Say you crave sugar, like a lot of people do. Sugar, gets all your amino acids, shoves them into the muscles. Now, there's no tryptophan in your muscles or collagen, for example, and so tryptophan's left high in your bloodstream, it floods into your brain, you feel good. That's what we call comfort food.
Yeah.
And that's why people crave sugars all the time, because they're trying to get that mood elevation. And, people eat badly, then just can't get out of eating badly.
Yeah.
It's a real syndrome for people.
It can be,
DSM-5, just the Diagnostic Statistical Manual 5, which is the one that talks about mental health, they took out food cravings as a mental health thing. And it's like, you idiots.
Yeah, that's
and it's like they took a whole bunch of stuff out that's highly controversial, I won't mention here, that I disagree with. But I think this is a real mental health thing if you're craving. You got to remember, how many times you told someone to stop eating cake, sugars, you eat less carbohydrates, and they can't.
No.
Or won't. But they know they should stop. It's like smoking. People know that everyone who smokes knows they should stop, but they can't.
Yeah.
People eat junk food. They know they should stop, but they can't. And when, like kids who eat a lot of sweets, they say, don't eat all the sweets, kid. And the kid loves all the sweets and carbohydrates because they're addicted to it.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
And, you can send an email saying you don't agree. I think this is a real brain thing, and I think it's very difficult when people get addicted to carbohydrates.
Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, definitely. So tryptophan helps decrease those cravings.
Yep.
So that's really good. Another one that helps with alcohol withdrawal, so that craving as well.
Yep.
So that's really good for that.
It's a good one. Now, if you're taking an antidepressant, speak to your doctor before taking tryptophan.
Yes.
We have restrictions in Australia for tryptophan.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a dodgy one.
There's something called serotonin syndrome.
Serotonin syndrome is when you get too much serotonin in your brain, and it can occur when people mix medications like usually SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and other types of, say, a classic one is a painkiller.
Yeah.
Like opioid painkillers. Tramadol is the classic one because tramadol works by opioid as well as serotonergic on the brain, that stops pain. So if you take tramadol, a normal classic prescription painkiller, with an antidepressant, you can get serotonin syndrome, which can be fatal.
Yeah.
Really dangerous stuff.
Yeah. So you don't want a high dose. I mean, tryptophan is not a medication, but it still can have that that therapeutic effect. So you don't want to be dosing it super high. So, yeah, there are a few cautions around tryptophan. I wouldn't be going out on your own and just dosing it. I'd be working with a professional that knows how to use it.
Exactly. And if you're in Australia and you're lobbing off to the pharmacy to get this, you won't be able to.
No.
It's restricted.
Yeah.
It becomes a prescription drug over 100 milligrams.
Yeah.
Yet a turkey breast has about 1,000 milligrams in it. So it's an essential amino acid.
It is.
We need it. So it's not the worst thing on the earth.
No.
Now, speaking of moods,
yes.
tyrosine, what's that good for?
Moods.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe it's good for moods.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, so this one, it's used to produce noradrenaline and dopamine.
Dopamine, yeah. And so we've talked about serotonin, dopamine and noradrenaline, two other neurotransmitters, very good for the brain. So that's good. So I guess athletes can use it?
Yeah, really good for athletes. So it boosts the brain's dopamine concentration. So very good for endurance athletes.
Yep.
So there's been a bit of research around, might help have an effect at high temperature.
Yes.
So I guess people, high temperature athletes.
High temperature athletes.
People training in high temperatures.
That's more like it, yeah. The people who work out in the sun.
That'd be it.
That's it. So they're also hot athletes. So,
there's also that too, exactly.
Obviously. Now speaking of cognitive function.
Cognitive function, Steve. Good for that.
Why am I reading this and thinking you need every amino acid under the sun?
I know. I think I just need to sleep. That's
funny, isn't it?
Yeah. So tyrosine can also protect against effects of severe cold exposure on cognitive performance and memory. So athletes in cold, ones that maybe are doing snow marathons or something.
Snow marathons? There's only ever been one recorded snow marathon, which was our former podcaster, Dean Cunnins.
Well, there should be more, I feel like.
Ran a marathon to the South Pole.
There you go. I'm sure there's people that do things in the cold. There's cold water activities, cold weather.
I used to live in Melbourne, so there's lots of cold weather down there.
True.
That was
Try running the tan in the middle of winter.
Oh.
Yeah, all those people in Melbourne. Anyone else won't know what the tan is, but
it's shockingly cold in Melbourne sometimes in summer.
It is, although not at the moment.
It's also it's hot there at the moment, but it's also Melbourne, if you can get depressed too. Does tyrosine help with that?
Yeah, so it's really good for depression.
Really? Okay. Wow, I didn't know that.
It is, Steve. Yeah, because it's a precursor to dopamine.
And?
Yeah, and noradrenaline.
That's right. That's right. And they're very good for depression.
They're very good for depression.
Oh my God, it's funny.
Yeah,
now it's different to some of the antidepressants like St. John's wort, and that it works a lot quicker, doesn't it?
Yeah, it works a lot quicker. So St. John's wort can take a little while to kick in, but tyrosine works a lot quicker. Mm-hmm. So that's a benefit there, and also thyroid function. So tyrosine, people would associate that with thyroid. Low tyrosine levels can impact thyroid function, or production of T4. But there is a but. Be careful because not everyone with a thyroid condition has a tyrosine deficiency.
No, I mean. Could be iodine, could be anything else.
Could be anything, could be some sort of, attack on the thyroid, could be anything. So if you are doing tyrosine, you have a thyroid issue and you're taking a supplement with tyrosine in it for your thyroid and you're finding you're a little bit anxious, a little bit sort of stimulated, a little bit not feeling great, I think tyrosine is probably not the best thing for you. So you want to be careful about that.
All right.
All right,
Nick. Now, we've talked about leucine. We've talked about isoleucine. There's a third branch chain amino acid. What the hell's that one called?
We're up to V, Steve. So valine.
Valine, that's right.
It's the third of the three branch chain amino acids.
All right. Now it's an essential one, obviously, so we need this stuff.
It is the least important of all the three branch chains.
It is.
For body composition, that sort of thing. So it's a little bit similar to leucine, a little bit more similar to leucine than isoleucine.
Mm-hmm. Now, the way this one works in the body is that it stimulates insulin secretion.
That's right.
Which binds with growth hormone to form insulin like growth factor 1, which gives you big muscles.
Yes.
Like mine.
That's right, exactly like
Don't
yours,
laugh
Steve.
when I say that.
No, it's just straight face.
So it's really good. So great stuff. Now, it also is good for nervousness and insomnia as well.
Yes. It is.
I'm sure it is. I read somewhere. This is
You read somewhere?
branched chain amino acids. Did you know that?
Yes. I didn't know that because I never know what you've got in your cup, Steve.
And it's got half
could
of
be anything.
some collagen that's good for your skin. I won't say the product name because I won't be allowed to, but it's really good. So I'm on the branched chains. I'm on the drugs.
There you go. You're on it.
I'm on it. I'm on it. And it's good for insomnia, good for nervousness, really
cognitive
good with
function as well.
Yep.
So there's another one I probably need right now.
Yep, so do I. And good for your immune system.
Yes, good for your immune system as well. So
It's really good.
so this one I just said it's an essential amino acid.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where's it found in the diet then?
Kidney beans. Leafy. See, the plant-based people love this because they've got to say in this one. Kidney beans, leafy vegetables, and then you can also get it from poultry and milk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good
so,
one.
Yeah. So that sort of covers all bases. And that's it. We're up to V, Steve. That's it.
And there's no other amino acids that come after V, is there?
No.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So we've done, I think there was a couple we didn't do, but we did most of the ones that we thought were really cool.
We just ran out of time. We got the cool ones done.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. We didn't have aspartame and all that crap. But the thing about what the amino acids is that yes, they are building blocks of protein. Yes, they help you build muscle, but they do functions in the body. Surprisingly, a lot of people don't realize how good they are for the brain.
Yeah.
And different conditions. Some pick you up, some sedate you.
Yeah.
So some balance you, but most of all, you need these things.
Yeah, definitely.
This is not like, screw those essential amino acids. I won't bother with them. You have to think about them.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, obviously protein first because that's where you get amino acids. But yeah, you can do therapeutic amino acid, protocols as well, as we said. So single amino acid therapy, or you can combine some of these. I put glycine and taurine together a lot. I do mixes with that, add some inositol depending. So it's hopefully some of the information we've given out the last two podcasts, and part one, part two.
That's right.
It's been a while. We started this podcast hours ago. Yes, shed a bit more light on how important and how valuable these can be also for helping to maintain health in the body and,
And
regulating
protos
balances.
is a Greek word meaning first.
That's right.
So this is the thing you need to consider first when you come to your meals and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate, is there?
No, there isn't.
There's essential fatty acids.
Yep.
There's essential proteins, amino acids, but no. So this is something we need to be aware of. And if you're suffering any of those myriad of conditions that we're talking about, those amino acids, they're fairly low toxicity. They're supposed to be in the body. So consider them as medicine. Yeah, this is amazing. All the stuff. 40,000 different proteins found in the body.
Yeah.
If you're missing one,
isn't it?
you're in trouble.
You're in trouble, yeah.
40,000. How do they measure that?
Yeah,
All right, Nick, well, we've run out of time.
we have.
All right.
Yeah, we'll see you all next week.
I'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
What? I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, athletic performance. Okay, that's good.
All right, okay.
Yeah, tell me again, athletic. Yep.
What? Okay, so we've got this. You've got high cholesterol. You've got fats.
He keeps talking. I'm like, we have to cut that bit out. All right, sorry, go again.
No, it's all right.
We've moved on.
Just
Okay.
get that on there. Wow.
Can we just get through this, please?
She's going to fall asleep on the table.
This has become a marathon. Holy shit.
I'm trying to lead her into it. Yeah, it's hard.
It's too much.
No, you have to take this on an empty stomach, don't you, Nick? That's it.
Sure, yep. I was going to cut that bit out. I was going to say something like, timestamp that, cut that out.
Do you want me to say it again?
Yeah, no, let's just move on maybe.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, so it's good.
It's good, yeah.
Oh,
This is going to make...
we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Come on, just hold it together.